Welcome to Multiverse Decode, your portal into the comics multiverse. Well, folks, this is a rare moment. For once, we actually get to talk about a Marvel film that gives us real material to break down. Hidden details, Easter eggs, and actual hints at the future. This isn't some post-credit filler like in Eternals. This is a fully intentional scene shot by the Russo brothers themselves. They were behind Dr. Doom's appearance and helped shape the film's ending to align with what's coming in Doomsday. Finally, a decent prequel to the Avengers. And in the next few minutes, we'll break down what makes it so important. But before we dive in, time for the ultimate comment battle. Superman or the Fantastic Four? Which film did you enjoy more? With both dropping around the same time, the comparison is fair. Let us know down below. Now, let's talk about that ending with Galactus. In the movie, the Fantastic Four send him far away, to some remote corner of the universe. But comic fans know, Galactus doesn't need a ship to travel. He moves faster than light. He's a cosmic entity, a literal god. In the film, though, they downgraded him, turned his escape into a basic teleport. On one hand, it limits him, but on the other, it leaves the door wide open for future appearances. He's not dead. The storyline between Silver Surfer and Johnny Storm is still hanging, and we all know how Marvel portals work. Sometimes they mess with space, sometimes with the whole multiverse. But let's be honest, who even needs such a nerfed Galactus? If Sue Storm could stop him alone in the first film, what business does he have showing up against the Guardians of the Galaxy? This is classic Marvel, joining the list of villains who got downgraded: Ultron, Taskmaster, Mephisto, MODOK, Red Hulk, and now Galactus. Thankfully, there's still a backdoor for redemption. Maybe he held back his true power, afraid to harm Franklin Richards. If that's the case, a rebalance is possible. Galactus could still appear in a sequel or another MCU film, eventually. Realistically, don't expect him before Fantastic Four 2 in 2028. And by then, who knows what Marvel has planned for Doomsday? In fact, Galactus might just be used as a punching bag to show how powerful Dr. Doom really is. Doom is the main source of hype for this film, and also its biggest disappointment. Yes, the scene was directed by the Russo brothers on the Doomsday set, but we got no context, no clear design, not even a proper look at Doom himself. It was shot early in production. They probably didn't even have a final costume design, so they just showed him from behind. A blurry cape and a default mask. Maybe they'll update it in the digital release. We might see Doom's proper Doomsday costume then. And that digital release is set to drop after San Diego Comic-Con and D23. So, Marvel might enhance that scene, give us a better teaser, maybe even show Robert Downey Jr. in costume as Doom. At one of those upcoming conventions, either Comic-Con or D23, Marvel is expected to finally reveal the first official look at Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. And once that happens, they can easily enhance the post-credit scene, maybe re-release it to boost interest and get fans back in theaters. But still, that teaser left things vague. It's mostly symbolic, open to interpretation. For example, in the comics, Doom's face is horribly disfigured. That's why he wears the mask. But in the film, when Franklin Richards sees him, he doesn't look shocked or even surprised, which probably means Marvel won't go full comic accurate here. They're not going to bury Robert Downey Jr. under layers of prosthetics. And honestly, that makes sense. His face is one of the biggest assets Doomsday has. Plus, canon is flexible. In some comics, Doom's only injury was a tiny scar. He was just such a narcissist that he snapped over it and hid behind the mask forever. So don't be surprised if the marketing shows Doom holding his mask, showing Downey's face clearly. with minimal damage, just enough for even casual viewers to recognize the Marvel icon. Why does Doom want Franklin so badly? That much is obvious. The film itself presents young Franklin Richards as a god, someone capable of reviving and creating entire universes. The real question is, how does Doom plan to use that kind of power? Because in the comics, it's been done a few different ways. In the older runs, Doom and Annihilus used brute force. They tried to break the kid's mind, to bend him completely to their will. If that's the case in Doomsday, then we're probably looking at a glorified battery, basically a living version of the Infinity Gauntlet. Remember that post-credit scene where Doom steals something from Sue? That might have been a setup for this. The Avengers might be forced to rescue Franklin, just like they did with the Gauntlet. And realistically, Franklin's going to be about 5 years old in Doomsday. Good luck finding an actor for that. Legally, kids that young can only work a couple of hours a day. Plus, you need special sets and tons of crew. It's expensive and complicated, and that's why Marvel may take the easy way out. Fully CGI the kid, keep him silent, and treat him like an Infinity Stone with emotions. But there are alternatives. In more modern comics, Doom is shown more like a mentor to Franklin, mostly because of his warm relationship with Sue Storm's other child, Valeria Richards. That kindness often extends to Franklin too. Doom even calls him a god, protects him at times, and tries to earn his trust. Though still with manipulation, of course. And since Robert Downey Jr. himself said that Doom is a hero in this universe, not a villain, this version feels much more likely. In theory, they could even become allies. Gods think differently than humans, and right now, the multiverse is collapsing. Clearly, the next Avengers film will center around Doom's grand plan to save it, and Franklin might actually like that idea, and help willingly. And age? That's the least of it. Beings like Franklin exist across all time periods at once. He could just swap to an older version of himself to avoid child actor restrictions. Honestly, if Marvel had the guts, they could cast Tom Holland as adult Franklin and let us all die laughing from the irony. As for Thunderbolts, the biggest mystery is why there's no connection between their post-credit scene and the Fantastic Four film. Remember, the FF ship lands on Earth in the Thunderbolts teaser, but the FF movie never mentions it. Even weirder, the director Jake Schreier said that teaser was also filmed on the Doomsday set by the Russo brothers. So we can't say it's just some random tease. The Russo brothers needed that ship on Earth. Why didn't they reference it in the FF movie? That's the real question. Most likely, the script wasn't finished in time. And honestly, it's hard to imagine Marvel skipping a chance to drop a nuclear teaser like that. It's like ignoring Thanos' ship at the end of Ragnarok, something Marvel would never do. In Fantastic Four, they clearly made the decision to send the team into the main universe, but left out the follow-up. Maybe Doom stole Franklin into the Thunderbolts universe, and they came to get him. Maybe that ship is under Doom's control, and he's on board, preparing to punish the Thunderbolts. Maybe Franklin's on that ship, and someone else like Molecule Man is powering Doom's plan. Tons of possibilities. But one thing is clear, a big chunk of Doomsday, maybe even 30 minutes, will likely focus on Doom's backstory. The Russo brothers originally wanted to do something similar in Infinity War with Thanos, showing the destruction of Xandar. That didn't happen, but now's their chance to finally deliver. And Doom needs that kind of setup. He didn't appear in any previous films, but he's already left his mark. Victor Von Doom is Reed Richards' rival from his own universe, but in Fantastic Four, they didn't even mention that. And by age, they must have met already. Plus, the fact that Doom appeared in the super-protected Baxter building means he's already insanely powerful. They should have told us more. After all, we got to hear about Thanos way before Infinity War, even in Guardians of the Galaxy. And unlike Thanos, Doom isn't even a villain. His motivation needs screen time. In many ways, Doomsday will be Victor's solo movie. The real chaos will start in Secret Wars. But the first Avengers film? That'll be Downey Jr.'s full debut as Doom. And the lack of any teaser in the Fantastic Four movie proves it. They're saving his full reveal for Avengers. And one last thing. Have you noticed a recent trend? Marvel has now twice kept planets alive that everyone thought were doomed. Just like Deadpool and Wolverine, where the trailers teased the death of the entire Fox universe. But it didn't happen. That can only mean one thing. Marvel is stockpiling timelines for Secret Wars. They need a few surviving universes to even make the multiversal battles work. Why nobody spent the last 5 years building these worlds is anyone's guess. But it looks like the main MCU timeline, the Deadpool timeline, and the Fantastic Four timeline will be the center of the upcoming conflict. Sure, we'd love to see more timelines, but hey, we take what we can get. And when it comes to the Fantastic Four sequel, the timeline is still a big question. Marvel has reserved a release date, December 15, 2028. But Secret Wars will have already been out for a year by then. Kevin Feige said Secret Wars will soft reboot the universe, so don't expect the sequel to reuse the Galactus storyline. Or the retro-futuristic aesthetic for that matter. The next phase likely won't be set in the 60s anymore. So the Fantastic Four might keep their look and tone for 2 more appearances. But after that, things will get a full refresh. Bad news for retro-futurism fans, but good news for fans of director's cuts. Because Fantastic Four cut a lot of material, the director confirmed that John Malkovich didn't make it into the final version. Vanessa Kirby spoke about a giant scene between Sue and Mole Man, and she was really upset it was removed. Even the very first trailer had tons of shots that never made it into theaters. That Sunday family dinner, where Sue and Reed give a tour of the Baxter Building, was only in the trailer, and that crying shot of Sue? Just a promo still. At this point, they could at least release the deleted scenes in good quality. Something definitely happened behind the scenes, and we'll find out and break it down in future videos. If you liked this one, we'd love your support. We post videos every week, so hit that subscribe button for Multiverse Decode. Got questions about the plot? Drop them in the comments. We'll answer as many as we can. Until next time, friends.